Hello, I'm Noel Scher. I am the Retail and E-commerce Manager at LouElla Wine, Beer, and Beverage, and I'd like to welcome you to your June 2023 video for the LouElla Wine Explorers Club. Spring is here, the weather is getting warmer, so this month's features are all about wines to sit outside and enjoy, great wines for your cookouts and for grilling. So let's just jump right in. The first wine this month is a Sekt. It is the Von Winning Riesling Sekt. So what is a Sekt? Well, Sekt is a sparkling wine. Sekt is basically the term for the champagne-style sparkling wines from Germany and Austria. In terms of the labels, here you just see the name of the producer, the grape variety. It isn't, unless you look in the very fine print on the back, that you see the word Sekt, S-E-K-T. This comes from a really great estate, Von Winning, which you'll often see on the shelves at the shop. It's kind of a core producer for us here. Right now we're featuring their delicious 2021 Pinot Noir Rosé, but their Riesling Sekt is an exclusive for the Wine Club this month. Only about 5 cases of this wine came into the state in total, and we snagged just a couple of them for you guys. This comes from a very, very old estate in the Pfalz region of Germany. The Pfalz is one of the southernmost of Germany's wine regions, a little bit warmer than the Mosel or the Rheingau or the Rheinhessen, and is quite well known for their Sekt wines. This comes from an estate that was founded in 1849 and is currently under the helm of a very great winemaker, Stefan Ottmann. This particular cuvee, as I said, it's 100% Riesling, which was grown in soils that were very chalky and rich in red sandstone. A very, very good combination for making aromatically expressive Rieslings. This wine is made, as I said, in the champagne method, the method champenois. There's an initial fermentation in stainless steel, and then the wine is put into bottle for a secondary fermentation for 24 to 28 months. So basically how they make most champagnes. One of the notable things about Von Winning in the way they work in the vineyards, which not only are they totally organic and do everything by hand, they plant their vines at a much higher density than is typical. Usually you'll get about 5,000 vine plants planted per a hectare of vineyard. At Von Winning, they plant closer to 10,000 vines in that same space. What difference does that make? Well, it makes it so that the vines have to compete with each other even harder for water, forcing the roots of the vines to plunge deeper and deeper into that chalk and sandstone, which brings even more mineral complexity to the wines. This is a really delicious, totally bone-dry Riesling Sekt. Has a lot of that nice kind of melon and tropical Riesling fruit on the nose and palate, but the finish is just crisp, stony, mineral, much like a really great bottle of champagne, but at a much better value. This bottle normally would be on the shelf for $38. The club price this month is $30.40. So if you enjoy it, you want to order some more, we've got just a little bit left, so let us know and we'll get some ordered up for you. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, the next selection in the $100 4-pack for June of 2023 is a fun one. This is the Sanctum Volk Pinot Noir Pet Nat. Check out that label. Come on, who doesn't want to drink a wine with a wolf listening to a boombox? That's pretty awesome. I like this wine a lot. This is a wine that is a Pet Nat. Pet Nat is definitely one of the super hot categories in wine right now. Pet Nat is sort of hipster wine shorthand for pétillant nature, or wines that are naturally a little bit sparkling. Basically wines that, much like champagne, undergo a secondary fermentation once they're bottled to create fizziness, to create carbonation. Pet Nats, unlike champagnes that will spend years and years in bottle developing that mousse, are bottled and after just a few months are disgorged and resealed, and so they just have a mild fizziness to it. The Sanctum Volk, this comes from the Styrian region of Slovenia, also an area of the world that's getting hotter and hotter, not literally, but more and more exciting in terms of their winemaking. There's a lot of great wines coming out of Slovenia right now. This is an estate that works completely organically. It's an old part of the wine growing world. Vineyards in Styria and Slovenia were originally planted by Carthusian monks back in the 12th century, so rivaling almost Burgundy for one of the original wine growing regions of Europe. This estate is owned by a winemaker whose name I'm going to destroy absolutely, Marko Podkubovcek. Sorry, my Slovenian non-existent. I just really like this wine. It's a fuzzy, fruity, punchy, great spring and summer sipper. It's a rosé, but a very dark rosé. Essentially, you can see by the color. But I would chill this as you would a white wine. Get it nice and cold. It's got the fun beer cap, so you just need a beer opener to open this one. This is going to be great for just an aperitif wine, something to have with cheese and bread, or if you're grilling kind of some spicy sausages, I think this would work well with that as well. So cool wine, fun stuff. Okay, your next selection for June 2023 is a red wine coming from the Minervois. The Minervois is an appellation right on the Mediterranean coast of France, and this comes from a husband and wife winemaking team, Jean-Baptiste and Charlotte Senat. And this is their Minervois, they call Arbalète et Coquelicot, which translated is crossbow and poppies. I did a bunch of reading about these winemakers and their estate. Couldn't find anything about why they call this crossbow and poppies. Coquelicot, the poppies, do grow very frequently and wildly throughout many of southern France's vineyards. So Coquelicot is a name that a lot of French winemakers will sometimes use in their wines. Crossbow, I'm not so sure what that's about. Jean-Baptiste is from this area originally. The story is as a very typical, I feel like, story of young winemakers in France today. Grew up in a winemaking region, moved to Paris, pursued other professional plans for a while, and ultimately returned home to his family vineyards to become a winemaker, but also to reinvigorate these vineyards and to convert them over to totally organic practices, which is what he did in 1995. He also, around that time in his life, read the works of a very important French winemaker, Jules Chauvet, who was sort of the godfather of biodynamic and natural wines in the Beaujolais, and was a major influence on many generations now of natural French winemakers. This wine, as I said, is from the Minervois. It comes from the sort of secret formula for great wine terroir, which is clay soil over a subsoil of limestone. This is the same sort of soil type that you find through most of Burgundy, parts of Germany, even in Bordeaux. The blend here is 90% Grenache, 10% Syrah. It's all whole cluster fermentation, meaning they don't destem the bunches before they put the grapes in the vats to begin the process of crushing and fermentation. It's spontaneous fermentation just with the natural yeast that were coming in off the grapes from the vineyards. And it rests in stainless steel that way for 7 months before bottling. This is a really juicy, bright, leathery, but zesty red. I really enjoy this. This is going to be a very food-friendly, food-flexible red for you. You can have it with poultry, with grilled meats, just sausages and charcuterie. It's got a lot of nice dark fruit extraction without having a lot of tannin. So it's even something that you can drink on its own. So hope you enjoy this one. Regular price on this would be $27. This month in the wine club, it is $21.60. Okay, the final wine in your $100 4-pack for June 2023 is a wine that I'm very excited about. This is the 2016 Avita Ciro Classico Superiore Riserva. This is a really cool wine from a very interesting part of Italy. This is from Calabria. Now, Calabria is one of the lesser known of Italy's wine regions. It's in fact the toe of the Italian boot. And in fact, where these vineyards are, the Ciro region of Calabria is sort of back in the instep, you might say, of the Italian boot. These vineyards are just a few miles from the Ionian Sea, so even though it's quite warm down there, they benefit from the mediating effects of being so close to the water. Ciro, the region, is the home of the Galliopo grape. That is the major native variety to this part of Italy. And this wine is, as all churros are, 100% a Galliopo. This is another, Avita is another husband and wife winemaking team. It's Francesco and Laura DeFranco. And this comes from very, very old Galliopo vines from a single vineyard parcel of theirs called Muzzinetto. They age this wine for a year in Slavonian oak, and then they bottle it, and then it remains in bottle until 4 years after the harvest. So an additional 3 years of aging in bottle. Now this is a wine that is definitely a wine you're going to want to have with some food. This has structure, it has some dusty kind of mocha tannins to it. Because it has a little bit of additional bottle age, it's starting to pick up what we call secondary characteristics. So as well as kind of a dark cherry fruit, you're going to get more spice elements. Some people would say old library book aromas, sort of leathery, earthy, kind of dusty aromatics and flavors to it. It does have quite a bit of tannin, but if you have it with something fairly hearty, I would recommend, you know, going full kind of Southern Italian, sausage, red sauce, pasta, something like that, something with a little bit of, you know, oily grease to it to counterbalance the tannin. It's going to be fantastic. This estate, they work completely organically. This bottling, tiny, tiny production, only 250 cases bottled of the Classico Superiore Riserva bottled every year. So we got a little bit on hand. So if you want to order some more, it's normally $34, $27.20 for Wine Club members this month. Okay, I hope you enjoy all the wines this June and look forward to talking to you again in July. Take care.